One of the most common reasons my clients give me for not approaching when they're on their own is that they don't know what to do or how to approach in a specific situation. See, if you're approaching in a bar, there can be lots of different types of combinations, situations, and environments that change the way that you need to approach. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to approach in different situations. If it's a girl by herself, if it's two girls together, if it's a group of three or more, if it's a mixed group with both men and women, if you're approaching a girl at a bar, if you're approaching her in the line to the bathrooms, or if you're approaching her on the dance floor. So if you'd like to know the best way to approach in different situations, keep watching. All right, let's start it nice and simple. You're out in a bar and you see a woman sitting by herself. How should you approach her? Well, the first thing I want to point out is that women by themselves are rarely good options for approaching. In theory, it sounds great. She's by herself. There's no one else who's going to drag her away, yada, yada, yada. However, you got to think about this. Most women don't go to bars alone. They go with friends or they go with a guy. Now, if they're out with friends, female friends will rarely leave a female friend alone by herself. So if, for example, the friends are going to get drinks, they'll leave her with one friend. If the friends have gone to the bathroom, then, they will kind of stagger it so no one's ever sitting alone at the table. Now, not all friends do this, but this is the common thing. More often than not, if you see a woman by herself in a bar, it's because she's there with a guy. The guy's gone to get a drink or the guy's gone to the bathroom. Obviously, she can't go with him. Well, technically, but, usually not. So more often than not, girls by themselves aren't great options. But if you do approach them, the key is don't ever go with anyone else, always by yourself, never with a wingman, and don't be too assertive or aggressive with the way that you approach, because women can feel very vulnerable when they're by themselves in a bar. It's something you need to keep in mind. They're easy to scare off. And I don't say avoid them completely, because now and again, girls by themselves can be an absolute jackpot. I've had it myself. I've approached a woman by herself and she was there for a Tinder date who didn't show up, or a woman who was there for a Tinder date, but he's being an idiot and she doesn't want to talk to him. That's come up a number of times. So these kind of situations happen, and I've seen some really amazing results from these kind of weird events that you kind of stumble across when you find women on their own. But just be aware, often she'll be there with a guy and she won't want to talk to you. Okay, so the second condition is two women out together. Now, most guys find this their favorite kind of approach. It shouldn't be, and I'll explain why in a minute. But two women together out in a bar. Now, guys like this because it's not too large a number. It doesn't feel intimidating. But when you have two women together, one of the difficulties you'll often have is that you have to talk to both of them. One of the big mistakes guys make when it comes to women together is they focus on just one, right? And the other one gets bored, and she gets bored and she feels ignored, which is kind of rude. And if you're being rude to her, then she's going to try to kick you out of the interaction. When you're talking to two, you have to entertain both women all the time. Unless, and this does happen sometimes, unless you get a situation where the other girl is happy to leave you. She'll kind of ignore you both on purpose and give you both a chance to flirt with each other. This is great. First of all, because of course it gives you a chance to kind of have a one-on-one conversation with the girl you like. But secondly, because she is non-verbally giving you the thumbs up to her friend. By purposely giving you space together, she's allowing that to unfold. Guys often worry about, oh, what if the friend gets jealous that I'm hitting on one girl and not the other? This is usually not the case. It can happen, but I'd say 70% of the time, if a girl tries to get rid of you because you're talking to her friend, she's trying to do her friend a favor. She's doing a friend a favor because she gets bad vibes from you. She's doing a friend a favor because her friend has a boyfriend and hasn't told you, or her friend has a guy that she likes, these kind of things. Or it's clear to her that her friend doesn't like you and you haven't noticed yet. So most of the time, it's something you're doing. It's not a jealousy thing. But here's the thing you have to do. You have to make clear within the first 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an absolute stretch. You've got to make clear which of the two you like, because trust me, everyone's done it before who's done a lot of approaches where you jump into a group of two girls and they both don't know who you like, and it creates this really weird dynamic that neither of them wants to flirt with you too much. Why? Because girl code says that you can't be stealing a guy from your friend if your friend likes him. Another girl wants to be that bitch who does that. And so you need to make clear who you like so that so they don't have to try to work it out and read your mind. You can do that by you give a compliment to the girl you like, be teasing the girl you like she's the one you poke fun at and tease all the time. As I said, one really well-placed compliment will do it. You need to make it clear, and a lot of guys worry about it because they don't want to hurt the other girl's feelings, but something you have to do or you will fail. The two set will just crumble in front of you and you won't get any results at all. Okay, moving on to groups of three or larger. So if this all women, and it's 3 women, 4 women, 5 women, 6 women, 7 women, this is my absolute favorite type of interaction. Now, a lot of guys hate it because they're intimidated. It's lots of girls at a table, a group of women sitting somewhere. Oh my God, I'm an introvert. How am I going to entertain all these girls? The answer is you don't. When you first approach, yes, it depends on the size of the group. Let's say it's a group of 3. If you approach, all the women are going to look at you. If it's a group of 6 or 7, no, usually 2 or 3 will look at you and the rest will look at you but kind of keep talking amongst themselves. Remember, you're in a bar, there's music going, there's stuff happening, they can't hear you anyway. But what you do is in the beginning, you talk to whoever's looking at you and whoever wants to interact with you. Again, making clear who you're flirting with by giving her a compliment, she's the one you tease, how are you going to do it? But what you can do in these groups is you can isolate, that is, start talking one-on-one with the girl really quickly, like within about 5 minutes. The reason that you can do this is because the other women can entertain each other. If it's a group of 3, the other 2 can have a chat. If it's a group of 4, if it's a group of 5, if it's a group of 6, it's easy, right? It's very easy for you to just walk a little bit off to the side and keep talking to just the one girl and just have a conversation with her in front of her friends. She feels safe. The friends can keep an eye on her. That's all good. Now, once you're having a one-on-one conversation with her, it's much easier to sexually escalate. It's much easier to have more risque conversation and this kind of stuff. So it's a far better situation, and you don't have to entertain other people. That's the thing a lot of guys don't realize. They prefer a group of 2 because it seems easier, but actually a group of 3 or more is better because you can isolate them far more easily. If you've got a group of 2, you really need a wingman. You don't need it. It helps a lot to have a wingman with you, but with a group of 3, 4, 5, you don't have to have a wingman to help you out. And so that's why that's my favorite by a large margin. Now, what happens if it's a group of 3 or more, and one of the people in the group or more than one is a guy? If it's a mixed group, what do? This is my second favorite type of interaction, which is again going to surprise a lot of guys because I know most of you guys avoid mixed groups like the plague. If there's guys in there, you avoid it. And that's why it's my second favorite type, because usually none of the women in that group have been approached that night because every guy is afraid of this group. But really, what I find is I watch a group, and if there's a couple in the group, it's usually obvious, right? He's got his arm around her, he's got his hand on her shoulder, that kind of thing. If it's not clear, then usually if there's not a boyfriend in there, there may be. So the way that you approach these is you walk up to the guy. That's the key. So you walk up to the guy and you just say to him, hey mate, totally random, I think your friend here is really cute, and I'm just wondering if she's with any of you guys here. What you'll find, first of all, I've never had a guy respond aggressively to me when I approach him, right? Guys can get territorial if you hit on the girl right in front of him without talking to her. But giving him the respect of talking to him means the guys are friendly to you. Now, if she is with him or if he is just got a crush on her and doesn't want you intervening, either or, it's not worth getting involved if he's going to be like that. But if it's like that, he'll say, no, she's spoken for, or yeah, she's my girlfriend. If he says that kind of thing, that's fine. Go, oh, cool, man. Well, she's really cute. You have a good night. I'll leave you guys alone. Then you walk away. But very often, guys will introduce you to her and then become your advocate. So long as you're not behaving like a douche, so long as you're not looking like a bit of an asshole, and you being a decent guy, most guys will happily bring you in. Think about if you're out with your female friends, and they're not girls you have a crush on or anything. Most of the time, you're going to help the guy out. You're going to introduce him and make it easy for him. And this is what I find happens a lot, is you go in, the guy's really friendly, he introduces it to the girl. Now the girl's far more likely to be friendly because she hasn't been pestered by guys all night because there's other guys around scaring everyone else off. And so, yeah, that's my second favorite type. Most guys don't know that simple little trick, and it works. Yeah, it works a treat. I've had a lot of really great interactions with mixed groups that everyone else avoids. Now, guys, I hope you've been enjoying this video. Right now, I just want to tell you something super exciting, which is that in September, I'm going to be in Las Vegas running a number of weekend boot camps. I have just 2 spots remaining. And if you like the idea of being coached by me personally in Vegas this September, then I highly recommend you go ahead and click the link below in the comments or the video link up here where you can watch a video explaining exactly how the program is going to run. If you love the idea and you want to have a chat with me, you can fill in a form and we'll have a chat one-on-one on Zoom to see if we'd work really well together. All right, so I want to talk about the dance floor here, because a lot of guys, when they think about going out to bars and clubs to meet women, they think about dance floors. I, generally speaking, consider dance floors to be an advanced strategy. Now, that's not always the case, but here's the truth. I use myself personally, I tend to use my intellect and my banter as a way to attract women. I'm not using my dancing skills to do it. Now, it might be a little bit different at a salsa or bachata club, but yeah, I'm just talking about a regular nightclub or a bar. Dance floors are hard because anytime you do an approach, if she's sitting down, if she's standing up, she's on the dance floor, you have to match her energy levels or we're slightly above. You cannot find a woman on a dance floor and stand there like a bean and just say, hey, how's your night going? I saw you and I thought you were cute. Hi. Because your energy level's too low. You're going to start to drag her down with you. And you can't be doing that. So you have to go in with a really high energy level and maintain that energy level. So you have to dance with her, you have to be playful, you have to have a higher energy to hold the attention because she already had a high energy level when you approached her. Not to mention you've got loud music and everything else, so you have to rely entirely on the non-verbal body language. So I'd say this. I would say, this is what I say to pretty much all my clients, except for those who love dancing, avoid the dance floor until you're at a point where you can already pretty successfully meet women off the dance floor and you know, why not start pushing the boundary? Great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just for most guys, it's an advanced thing. And it's way harder. It's like trying to, I don't know, not even run. It's like trying to sprint and jump hurdles before you can walk. So yeah, I generally avoid the dance floor. Okay, so what if you're at the bar waiting to get served and there's a cute girl next to you? How should you approach her? A lot of guys, women at the bar are illuminated because the bars have more lighting than the rest of the club usually. And so it's easy to spot cute women at the bar. They're often standing there, sometimes alone at the bar. And it can be a very appealing thing to go up and try to hit on her or flirt with her at the bar. If I'm at the bar and I see a cute girl, I will talk to her. But what I'm not really doing is I'm not trying to have a full-on interaction, get to know you, let's stand here and talk for 20 minutes. What I'm actually doing is I consider it like creating a warm lead. If I'm going to be in the bar, I'm going to look to the girl next to me and I might say, you want to race to see who gets served first? You know, something a little playful like that. You know, or, hey guys, when are you planning to order? Or maybe I'm going to steal your idea. You know, something just kind of subtle and playful and mild like that. And what I'm going to do is have a bit of a chat, mild. I'm not trying to get to know her. I'm not trying to do the full thing, just a bit of a talk. Why? Because if she's cute and she's responsive when I talk to her in the line, later on when she's sitting down again, I'm going to approach her. So in the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to find her and then I'm going to talk to her. And it's really easy to approach when you've already talked to the bar. You know, you just go up to her and go, hey, you're the cute chick from the bar, right? And you can start having a conversation. And if she was friendly at the bar, she'll be friendly when you do that. And so that's a really good way to create warm leads. But don't try to do a full interaction because she's moving, she's thinking, someone's going to interrupt you. Like the bar person's going to interrupt you. She wants to get her order, or she's trying to remember 3 or 4 orders for friends, or all that kind of stuff. It's not the best environment to try to actually pick someone up. So in the bar is good, but only for creating warm leads. Now, the last really common situation I want to cover is women waiting in line to go to the bathroom. Okay, honestly, guys, I don't know who started thinking this was a great idea. Now, I don't. I really don't. And I'm saying that as someone who, one of my kind of best wingman friends back in the day, met his future wife while she was waiting in line to go to the bathroom. But that is the exception, and that's not the rule. Women waiting in line in the bathroom are captives to some degree, and they feel like captives. If you start approaching them in the line, they can't escape. There's nowhere they can go. Not to mention the line is moving, so just like at a bar, there's like a time limit on how long you can talk to them for. And some women are going to feel awkward or even creeped out by a guy hitting on them while they're waiting to go pee. A lot of them don't really like that. So while it can work, and yes, anything can technically work, it's not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. Those women who are waiting in line to go to the bathroom are going to be back in the bar. They're going to be back sitting down. You don't have to try to tackle them while they're there and isolated. Don't pick the chicken way out. If they're in a group of 3, if they're in a mixed group, if they're in a group of 2, it doesn't really matter because you can approach all of those and all of those are perfectly feasible. So just avoid the bathroom lines completely. I can see absolutely no reason to do it. Lastly, I want to say this. A lot of guys get really stuck in their heads thinking about what they can say when they first approach. In other words, they often don't even approach when they see a cute girl because either they don't know how to do it, like what I just talked about now, how to systematically go in there, but they don't know what to say. And you don't want to overcomplicate the what to say part. Yes, in an ideal world, you would say something situational and funny, a little bit of banter. That's great, but you don't need it. And actually, I've got coaches who work for me who still just use a default standard line. They don't bother with the creativity because they don't need it. And a standard default line is something like, hey guys, I was just over there with some friends and I saw you over here and I thought I'd come and say hello. My name's Damien, by the way. That's it. Is it the best lie in the world? No. But the truth is it works. And the truth is if it's not working, it's because of something else that you're doing wrongly or she just doesn't like you on site. There's no reason why you can't make that work. And it's the first thing I make all of my clients do. Anyone who works with me, when I do boot camps or three-month programs with them, they have to start by using a default. Because if they can't make a default work, it's highlighting other problems with what they're doing. So yeah, don't overthink it. Don't not approach because you don't know what to say. Use that line. Hey, so over here, thought I'd come and say hello. That's all you need. And if you've got good body language, if you're smiling, things I talked about in other videos already, most of the time they're going to be receptive. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. Don't hesitate. Don't not approach because you don't know what to do. Guys, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. And of course, if you're keen to join me in Las Vegas in September and you want to snaggle one of those last 2 spots, go ahead and click on the link down in the comments below.